Welcome to Cooking with Dragons. In front of me I have another Trinidad Scorpion Pepper. This is actually a lot redder than the camera is letting it show. Yeah, you can see how red that is. That's getting pretty ripe. That's been in my fridge for a while. It was kind of orange when I first got it, but the first one I had I turned into ketchup. That was actually pretty good. I gave that to a few people at work and they actually really enjoyed it. I have an onion, a head of garlic, and a shallot, which has been slow roasting since last night, and some bacon, which is also slow roasting for like 4 hours or so. And I'm going to caramelize them all together, and I'm going to make a bacon jam. And that's where this comes in. It's going to be a scorpion bacon jam. I'm making a lot of scorpion type things. So, I'm not going to eat this on camera because that's just a silly idea. But I plan to fire roast it. I'm going to use these tongs and maybe a fork to protect myself from it. I still don't have nitrile gloves, so you know. Alright, so I'm going to give this a little bit of touch with some vegetable oil, and then I'll go from there. Another thing to keep in mind with this pepper is to make sure you're working in a ventilated area. Okay, so I decided to grill this pepper. I thought that would be a lot easier. Just needs another minute or so. Here's our freshly grill roasted Trinidad Scorpion Pepper. Now I'm just going to put a lid over it and let it steam the rest of the way. Alrighty, so here we have oven roasted onions, shallot, and a garlic that have been slow roasting for 12 hours at 170 Fahrenheit, or I think 90 something Celsius. And I also have some bacon, which I decided to slow roast for the last 4 hours of it. That half piece is there. That half piece there is for me, so because why not? Alrighty, so I've been letting this pepper steam for the last few minutes or so. Just about got my prep done. I just wanted to show up how that onion looks after you take it out of the oven for 12 hours. Shallots turned out nicely too. And these garlic cloves, that's what one looks like right here. So once they're at this point, you can just kind of squeeze them out of their shell. And there's the bacon bits for it. And then the scraps from the shallot, onion, and the garlic. So that'll make for a good elixir at some point. Onion, shallot, OSG elixir. Onion, shallot, garlic elixir. OSG elixir. Onion, shallot, garlic elixir. Smoke elixir. Fuck it, whatever. So anyway, like I said, I don't have a pair of nitrile gloves, so I'm just going to be taking a fork and knife to cut it up in this. I'm going to be lightly cutting it up in this pan, just so that the juices can go in there, and yeah. But yeah, I know you don't want to use metal on a cast iron skillet, but in this case, it's a small exception. And yeah. And I got that fan on high, so it's ventilating, so it's not going directly into my face, so that should help. So that's what we're left with after cutting it up. It tears apart relatively easy, so you could probably just use something else to tear it apart rather than a knife and fork. Like the last time I messed with one of these, I used a corn cob holder. That could probably work too. You just shred it up that way. You would just have to get rid of the stem first, but yeah. Alrighty, so I'm going to turn this thing on and I'm going to get this thing going. Alrighty, here we go. Got these going nicely. And like I said, once the garlic is nice and soft, you just kind of squeeze it out. That's why I separated them one at a time, and then yeah. Like I said, you definitely want to have a ventilated room. This is definitely choking me up a little bit. Alrighty, I'll be back when it's, I don't know, where? Alrighty, here's what we got so far. I really can't stress enough having a ventilated area because, yeah, these peppers while they're cooking actually have quite a bit of bite to them while they're cooking. So I decided to throw some palm sugar in there to round it out a little bit. Okay, here's what we got so far. Yeah, God. Coming along good, I think. Didn't take too much longer, I don't think. Got a little bit of protection going on here, so. Alrighty, and there we have Scorpion Bacon Jam. I'll give it a taste test as soon as it cools down and I'm able to add the existing gum to it, so it should just be a few more minutes. And here we have Scorpion Bacon Jam. Still ventilating a little bit. Alright, so I got some here on a spoon. Gonna give it a try, see how it is, but it'll taste probably a lot better once it's sat for a little while. I'm gonna have it in the fridge for about 24 hours and then see how it tastes again, and then yeah. Alright, going in. Oh yeah, holy fuck. That is incredible. You get a nice sweet depth, but that heat hits you pretty much immediately. That was a big pepper, so there's no hiding that one. But yeah, it'd be great for a steak burger, if you wanted it spicy, of course. But yeah. Alright, Scorpion Bacon Jam, check it out. Thank you for watching. My name is Roy from Cook with Dragons. We're exploring a lot of food. See you next time we keep on feeding the fire.